Is this the best business class in North America? Welcome aboard Delta One Business Class on this Airbus A330-900 neo from Boston to Athens. In this video, I'll share both about the Delta One experience on board in the air and also in the Delta One lounge in Boston with a la carte fine dining. Hello, and welcome to DanFliesTheMile. Now if you're new, my name is Daniel and I'm an aviation enthusiast. And I love flying on different airlines to experience the best that each of them have to offer. And I'm also a credit card and airline miles strategist, and I love being able to fly on premium products without breaking the bank. So if you want to experience different airlines through my lens, or learn more about airline and credit card miles, do follow and subscribe and watch out for the next video. This was the fourth segment of my Round the World in 3 days Star Alliance Gold status run. In my first 3 sectors, I flew on Air Canada in both economy class as well as the signature business class. In my last 2 remaining sectors, I flew on Turkish Airlines in economy class on both the old Boeing 777 and the new A350 back to Singapore. I posted separate videos about my Air Canada flights, but my first flight from Singapore to Vancouver was on the Boeing 789 economy class, my second flight was on the Boeing 777-200LR in signature business class, and my final flight was on the Airbus A320-300 to Boston. I had great flights and I found the cruise to be excellent. I'm also thankful that despite the tight connections, including a 50-minute transit in Vancouver, there were no significant delays for my Air Canada flights, and I was able to enjoy a 12-hour overnight transit in Boston, which is one of my favorite cities in the US of A. So I guess it's kinda bittersweet to fly back home so soon. Thankfully, I'm flying in Delta One Business Class, which is an airline that I've not flown on yet before, so I'm very excited to try this out. Check-in was smooth, with a dedicated Delta One check-in area with seats to relax on, as well as a small snacks and water bar. After getting my boarding passes, there is a dedicated security screening lane for first and business class passengers, and I was soon in the airport concourse. The Delta lounges near the E14 gates are on the 2nd floor, and let me take you through the both parts of the lounge. On the left is the Delta SkyClub, which is like a traditional lounge with buffet food options and drinks, and this can be accessed by having SkyTeam status. The right side of the lounge is where it gets interesting. First, it has showers with grown alchemy products and looks amazing, and I got a really nice shower here. There is also the Delta One lounge, which is, to me, more like a fine dining restaurant as opposed to a traditional lounge. Just look at the amazing views for the Boston skyline and this impeccable decor. Taking a look at the Delta One lounge menu, I noticed a very interesting concept where certain premium food and drink options like caviar are chargeable. These can be paid for using cash or with miles. Personally, I found that the lounge staff were trying a little bit too hard to sell these premium products. In hindsight, I'm thankful for declining these additional options because even the regular lounge menu looks amazing. Hello from the Delta One lounge here in Boston. My first impressions of the lounge is that it's very new, very well decorated and very elegant. In terms of the food and beverage spread as well, it's pretty comprehensive. It's similar to what I would say Qatar does in its premium lounges where there is a la carte dining on demand. I would say that generally the food here has, I would say, a higher quality of food. Like for example, we have the Boston clam chowder here, and then we have got a crab cake, we've got a lobster roll, and we've got an American flank steak, and a very beautiful seafood platter here. The interesting thing also is that they offer additional premium items, like for example, they offer things like additional champagnes, spirits, and also even caviar at an additional charge, which I think it makes it a little bit more different from other lounges out there, which typically only offer you complimentary items. So yeah, it's an interesting take and really excited to try out the food. This was my first time having fresh oysters in an airport lounge. Bon appetit! It was soon time to board the 6-year-old Delta A330-900 neo with registration N43DX. I was quite excited for this flight because Delta has stopped flying to Singapore since before COVID.
aisle behind me.
Thank you.
This is 4A.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
The Delta One Business Class on this A330-900 neo features a 1-to-1 layout direct aisle access suites. While it may not be the latest product out there, it has all the essentials you need, like a lie flat seat, power plugs, as well as a sliding door. It's also a very significant improvement over the older Delta One products, especially on the Airbus A330s. Turning to the IFE, I found it to be very crisp, responsive, and had a great range of content. In addition, there is also free Wi-Fi for business class passengers, which clocked a pretty respectable speeds. The crew came around with champagne pre-departure drinks as I checked out the amenities at my seat. There was a pair of slippers and also a Missoni amenities kit, which looks great and has all the essentials that you need for a long-haul flight like this. There is also a pair of headphones and a bottle of water at the side of the seat. As we pushed back for departure, I was mesmerized by Delta's safety video, which takes you through the ages.
Please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew,
of our customers and crew is our #1 priority, and the
exits and bulkhead areas clear.
Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on. Up for safety. We appreciate your understanding.
Regulations require all passengers to comply with all.
and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years.
I loved hearing this twin Rolls-Royce Trent 7000 engines blasting us into the Boston afternoon. Taking a look at the Delta One menu, I found it to be pretty comprehensive and had a decent range of options to choose from. At the back, there are also helpful instructions on how to set your bed up. The crew then came around with warm nuts in a ramekin.
Here's your soup and salads. Thank you. You're very welcome.
For appetizers, there was a burrata salad, salmon roulade, and tomato and coconut soup. Time to close the sliding doors to dine in some privacy. For mains, I opted for the braised beef short rib, which was tender and delicious. And my favorite part of flying on US airlines, the dessert cart and the ice cream sundae. I caught a beautiful sunset as I enjoyed my sundae. While the lavatories aren't very spacious, they are still sufficient for freshening up. I then headed back to my seat to set it up for bed mode. The Missoni beddings come in this pack, and I found it to be a little bit clunky to store when not in use. However, they are really fluffy and comfortable. One noticeable difference as compared to Asian carriers is that the crew don't actively offer a turn-down service. Nonetheless, it's pretty easy to do it yourself, and I got it done within 5 minutes. The seat in bed mode is pretty comfortable, and I managed to get a nice 5-hour nap on this transatlantic flight. If you're feeling peckish, there is snacks in the galley as well.
Good morning. Did you get some rest?
Yes, I did.
Good.
Very good rest.
Are you gonna have some breakfast?
Yes, please.
When I woke up for breakfast, there were 2 crew members serving the owl. The first brought out drinks, and I found him to be really nice and friendly, and we had a great chat. However, the second crew member who came up the meal was very rushed and showed her visible displeasure when I was trying to clear the table to make space for the tray. For breakfast, I opted for the chocolate hazelnut French toast, which was pretty delicious as well. So I'll share some of my thoughts on the Delta One experience. I think overall it's a mixed bag. I would say in terms of the hard product, so from the Delta One Lounge in Boston, as well as the Delta One hard product on this A330-900 neo, they are both very great. I covered the lounge earlier. The food is amazing, and the lounge is very beautifully set up. I think in terms of the hard product, it's also very modern and competitive. You have sliding doors, full lie flat, a beautiful cabin. So I think in terms of the hard product, Delta One really delivers. I think in terms of the soft product, right, in terms of the food, again, the Delta One lounge and the food on board has been pretty good, pretty solid. You know, I've not had oysters before in a lounge. That was pretty impressive. But I think in terms of the crew and the ground staff, how friendly they are, I think that's a bit of a mixed bag, I would say. Some of them have been really friendly and amazing, genuinely seems to be the case. But some of them are also a little bit more, I would say, professional, yes, but at the same time not super friendly. So yeah, I think in terms of that aspect, it's a bit mixed. But again, I'm coming from the perspective where I fly a lot on Asian carriers like Singapore Airlines, Cathay Pacific, EVA Air, for example, and they are known for fantastic service and crew hospitality. So I think maybe in that regard, my perceptions and how I perceive it may be different. So that's just my own personal thoughts on Delta One. I think it's still a very good experience. As we descended into Athens, I got a Starbucks coffee in a to-go cup. It was also quite bumpy as we descended into Athens, as it was a rather foggy and rainy morning out there. Before disembarking, I caught up with the lovely crew and was also invited to check out the cockpit, where the pilot gave me one of these very cool and collectible Delta A330neo cards. Do let me know if you guys have any thoughts about American Airlines in general and what you think is the best American airline out there, and yeah, do share it with me in the comments.